Alex, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I am great. I am great. Thank you for joining me today. And if you don't know who I am dmathis, the home loans hero, and I have with me.
Alexandra, your go-to credit girl at My Credit Guy.
So I definitely work with Alex a lot, helping my borrowers get up their credit scores if they need to, raise their credit scores to basically get better interest rates or even to get into a certain program. She is definitely my go-to girl to, make that happen. So I felt like it's a very important topic with coronavirus, obviously affecting the real estate market and the mortgage world and credit guidelines tightening up. So what better to talk with a credit specialist right now and let the people know how they can, keep their credit in a position to win in times of opportunity, I guess you could say. So I guess we'll go ahead and kick it off with, so if you have not heard, coronavirus obviously is wiping out, businesses across America, the world, and people aren't able to go to work, so that causes more stress on the mortgage industry. And obviously, we lend money, so there's risk in lending money because people can foreclose on a home or they could, miss payments and jack up their credit and all kinds of things. So obviously, mortgage guidelines have changed pretty rapidly, pretty quickly with the coronavirus going on. So one of the things that is definitely affected some of the borrowers that I work with is like down payment assistance programs. We have raised credit score minimums on down payment assistance programs to like 640. It used to be 620. So now my borrowers that were like a 628 a week ago and we could close their loan, guess what? I got to make that call and tell them, hey, we might not be able to close unless I can get with like Alex and we find like a solution to get you up there quick, which we have tools to do that. So that's just one of them. Jumbo loans is definitely one big thing. Jumbo loans are obviously hard to get closed right now. We don't have a whole bunch of outlets for jumbo loans, so we have a couple, and I'm pretty sure that as the weeks progress, we might have more opening back up, so then we can offer jumbo loans to the world. And then there's just additional overlays on pretty much all loans, period. Like we want to make sure that you made your last payment. So say we're closing a refinance today or tomorrow, or the first week of May, we're going to make sure that you paid your April payment if it's after the 15th. So that's huge. Like some people are expecting to skip 2 months payments. And now with coronavirus going on and everybody losing their jobs, we're, making sure we're just crossing dots and crossing our, crossing T's and dotting I's. So we're pulling VOEs, like the day before we close just to make sure you still have a job. So things are changing, and if you're not in a position with your credit, your deals could have fallen apart. So why not take, life by the horns and, take charge of your credit and put yourself in a position to win? So, Alex, what are your thoughts on what's going on with, the mortgage market, and how can borrowers out there or people out there, keep their credit in a position to win?
Thank you. I think that you actually touched on a lot of the major highlights is if as we're looking at our bills, as we're looking at what we have going on in our world, getting from a 620 to a 640 is usually a matter of paying down some revolving debt. And so before we start allocating our funds to things that maybe aren't dire needs, this is the time to really figure out where should those monies go. How do we best use them? How do we best leverage them so that not only are we paying our bills and staying timely and not hurting our credit there, but that we're actually taking our credit up a notch by going ahead and paying down strategic debt choices so that we're skewing those ratios optimally for ourselves and really presenting the cleanest picture possible. Another thing that you brought up, which was really crucial, down payment assistance. Okay, that's fine. It's one thing to get free money down, and that's great. I know nobody wouldn't want to take advantage of that. Like, there's nobody that wouldn't say, heck yeah, pay my down payment for me. And with that being said, you know what? There's a lot of people right now coming into a pretty decent chunk of cash because they're married. Maybe they have 4 kids under the age of 15. They're getting a decent sized check. That check is sometimes, I'm sure you can speak to this better than I can, more than what that down payment assistance would be.
Totally.
So as we're looking at those things, as we're looking at what do we do with the cash that we do have, how do we make sure that we're moving forward, it's really about being strategic with not just our spending, but with the debts that we're choosing to pay down. The one that might seem the most frustrating, that student loan that we've had for 10 years and it's sitting at a 17%. That's the one we want to throw all this cash at. Well, wait a sec. We just took 10 years off of our history. Gone. It's never been late. It's got a $20 monthly payment. It's simply a principal issue that it's annoying us. So before you start paying anything off, talk to somebody in your financial world about where your funds are best allocated. That's like above and beyond the best tip I can give. The next thing is, if at all possible, go late. If you have to go more than 30 days late on something, go late on something that's not on credit. Go late on your gym membership. Go late on your cell phone. Go late on your cable. Go late on something that is not on credit, and that if you somehow or another had to borrow from friends, family, pawn something, whatever it is you had to do, it wouldn't break you. Come on, let's think this through. Worst case scenario, if you have the most extreme of extreme of extreme cable package, you're not paying more than $350 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, I hope you wouldn't be paying more than $350.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying, like, I'm trying to go extreme. So $350, if you had to come up with 3 months in one lump sum payment, you're barely over $1,000 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you had to come up with 3 mortgage payments in one lump sum, you could be talking as much as 10 grand.
Right.
Which would you rather go to mommy and daddy and ask for? Which one would you rather be like, how do I do this? How do I do this? I'd much rather pinch over $1,000 than over 10.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. For sure.
I'm not trying to oversimplify it. I'm not trying to make this sound like, you know, everybody can do it. I get it. Not everyone can do it. There's times you have to look at the bigger picture and say, what does this really mean? What do we really do to do these things? And if at all possible, the mortgage is the last thing that you're late on. Next in strategic order, the second to last thing that you're late on is your car, student loans. Anything federal is really number 2. Number 3, any signature personal loans. Number 4, your credit cards. Number 5, everything else.
Wow. That was powerful information right there. Because a lot of people are in tough situations at this time and they have to pick and choose what's most important. So obviously you heard that from her yourself. Your mortgage is probably the most important thing on your credit report. So if you have a mortgage, call, pay it, figure it out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but that's probably the most important thing on your credit report. So if you could save your credit score, pay your mortgage on time. Forbearance. So we'll get into forbearance. So a lot of people are affected by, they can't make their mortgage payments right now. So they're calling me up, asking me, what can I do to, I'm having hard times. I don't know if I can make my payment this month. What do I do, Damien? I don't want to lose my house. Well, I tell you to call up your mortgage servicer. So me as a lender, we sell a lot of our loans off to somebody who's going to service the loan. So then it could be like a CHAFA loan, maybe down payment assistance. So CHAFA is going to be servicing your loan. So I tell you to contact CHAFA, and you arrange with CHAFA and let them know, hey, I can't make this month's payment, and they'll give you your options, which it could be to make that payment. They'll break that payment down, put it at the end of your loan, and then monthly payments go up for a certain amount of time until you pay it off. Or it could be you make 2 payments at one time. That's what I've heard. But every lender's different. Every person's different. You can't quote me because I'm not the one who's servicing these loans. You have to reach out to the person servicing your loan, and then they'll give you your options. So with forbearance, one of the big things is if you're trying to do like a refinance or buy a house, that can create like a mortgage late, or it could create some type of issue just showing that you're not being able to make your payments, so you're not being responsible when it comes to budgeting and saving and being, just being in a position to make that payment on time every month. So when you have that,
I was just going to say that also ties into the back end. It's not just the risk level of you being in a forbearance and not being able to make your payments. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the creditors out there really are realistic and in saying, okay, we understand that this is out of a lot of people's control. This isn't you creating a bad habit about paying your bills. This isn't maliciously telling me that you're just not going to give me money this month. I think that have a really good bearing and understanding. That's why the CARES Act got put in place. That's why there's all these strategic measures going in. And we also have to be aware those strategic measures are a matter of protecting the greater good. So when we talk about why are the servicers scared? They're scared of, what does this look like? How are you going to come out of it? In anything, it's not necessarily what's happening today. It's what's the exit strategy out of it that is much more concerning. Can we have an exit strategy? And so if somebody, again, had to hypothetically come up with 3 months of payments, could they do it? No, the reality is most of us could not. If somebody had to break those 3 months of payments up and pay them on top of their current mortgage payment in 12 months window, could most people do that? Probably not. Like, I get it. I get that it doesn't necessarily seem like big money, especially when we talk on a national scale. Some mortgages are as little as $1,000 a month. And for a lot of people, that extra $100 is the difference between how does my world function and not. Am I feeding my kid and not? So we're not going to see a massive credit impact in and of itself. We're going to see that impact 9 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, when we see how does this exit strategy get implemented? What can each bank afford to do? The reason that they're not saying what the exit strategy is, the reason they're not putting it in writing is they don't know. They have no idea how much liquid money any one of them is going to have. They have no idea how many people they're going to have to approve for a forbearance. And when it comes down to it, cover the payments for to their back end. So if it's a small local community bank and they only had to do it for this many people, guess what? They're going to be super flexible on how does that exit strategy look. If it's one of those big guys, and we won't name names, we won't talk whether they're the good big ones or the bad big ones or whether they took the bailout last time. However, if it's one of those big ones and they gave this many people help, and then they're going to need their money and they're going to need it now.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And when they do that, that's what's going to cause all kinds of a snowball effect that is going to have credit repercussions. And that's not just going to be a credit repercussions. It's going to then be a underwriting overlay.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So this forbearance thing obviously can jack up real estate deals, or deals from going through. So if you're trying to do a refinance right now and you hit that forbearance thing, that could jack up your deal. So that's just good knowledge to know. So other than that, we'll just touch on, like, what are some of the best practices somebody can do during this time to keep their credit, A1?
I think don't obsess about it. I've seen some people fall into that little rut of, well, I have time every day, so guess what I'm going to add to my daily routine? I'm going to add monitoring to my routine. Every day I'm going to see what I did. Your score should not be changing daily.
Mm-hmm.
It's a computer trick to get you to log in daily. If you're not doing a financial transaction, don't worry about it. Be strategic and look at what matters. Embrace this opportunity to be educated. Embrace this opportunity to learn and say, you know what? I've been putting off getting a credit card for years. I didn't want to get a secured one. I didn't have the cash. Now I do. Maybe take this time to, instead of rushing a lender or a banker or financial professional off the phone and saying, yeah, let me get that. I hear you. Really delve in and hear them. Mm-hmm. Go through. You guys, it's shocking to me how many adults our age have never gone through their entire insurance policy, whether it's on their house, their car, their rental, line by line, and actually understood what it meant. Now's the time. Spend 2 hours on the phone with your insurance guy. Let him explain yourself. You might find out everything you actually need you don't have, and everything you have no need for at all, you're way over covered on.
True. Good point. So take that extra time to, analyze your life and finances, all kinds of things, and organize your house. Who knows? But take that time to, focus on those things that can help improve your life.
A perfect one too for that. Go through your last 6 months of credit card statements and debit card account, checking account. If you have anything on auto pay that you don't know what it is, stop it. Now I mean, the average person in America has over $250 on auto pay every month,
Wow.
most of which they don't know what it is.
Wow. I know I got some accounts too that I need to stop.
If I can free you up $200 a month for nothing, and that 200 now is the difference between you paying your mortgage and not, you guys.
Mind blown. So that was a great tip right there. Obviously I feel like, coronavirus might put people in situations, and being an entrepreneurial mind like me, some people might be in rough situations where they might have to walk away from a home, unfortunately. And people like investors are going to come flocking to them, telling them they can give them this, give them that, and some people want to be able to put themselves in position to take advantage of those situations. Maybe not be, it could be, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you're helping that family out instead of having, going into foreclosure and never being able to buy a house again. You're able to put, 50,000 in their pocket, then walk away from the mortgage, and then, they're able to start a new life, and then you have a new investment property where you can go make, your 100K off of, whatever it may be. So that's how my mind thinks. So obviously we might start to see that stuff in about 3 to 6 months. What are some of the things that you would think are like the best things to focus on now to put yourself in position to win or take advantage in those times of, need?
If you see that coming down the pike, don't wait. Don't do don't do the hanging off of a cliff method of, oh, I lost one hand. Oh, I lost a finger. Oh, I lost another finger. Oh, I'm still holding on. Don't. Stop, bite the bullet, do it before the hemorrhage starts.
True. Well, I mean, yeah, that's do it before. So don't, if you're going to lose your house or anything, go do some Grubhub delivery. There's jobs out there. There's ways. Reach out to your service. Obviously, we don't want you to lose the house, but also on the flip side, if you're somebody who wants to invest in property and things like that, it's obviously going to be harder to get an investment loan right now because investment properties are obviously the second thing that somebody's going to pay if they're going to miss their primary mortgage. They'll probably pay their primary because that's where they stay. Miss their investment, so there's more risk on those.
Especially if their tenant's not paying them, then what?
Totally.
And though, I'm not saying go take on a second job. I'm not saying go, do any of those things. I'm saying even if you own your house and you're looking at it and going, I don't know how the next 6 months work. There is not, I don't have that exit strategy we talked about. I cannot cover this for the next 6 months. Then you know what? Sooner rather than later, put the house on the market today. At an optimal price.
Yeah.
Get it all now. Do it before you're now fire selling.
Facts. So I feel like that was pretty strong. Please tell us about your business and what you do and how people can connect with you.
So, I am here for absolutely anything and everything I can be of service and support. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to me here on social media. Damien's going to go ahead and drop some links in the comments for you guys. You can email me, you can call me. We'll have all of that in the comments as well. Really, if you have any credit questions, if you have any scenario that you're not sure how you're going to approach, or you've had life happen in the past and you feel like it might be holding you back, you think that your credit's in a different spot than what you're being told it is, yeah, let's just talk it through. No worries at all. I have like the most amazing team. You'll probably be working with one of them, but that is why they were hand chosen, is to be of service and support to all of you.
Definitely. So we appreciate what you did. Thank you for taking the time to, join me on my Zoom call as we want to get this information out to the public and, help put somebody's credit in position to win in times of crisis. So thank you again. And I'll drop the information in the comments below. You guys have a good day.